Hey, it is Friday. Welcome to your go-to show for sports here on the Shore. Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Anthony Joseph.
And I'm Chris Brunk. Thank you for joining us. Anthony, you're not going to believe it, but we've got a lot to get into tonight.
We always do. It's jam-packed. Let's go over what we have in store for you tonight. We've got some racing. I like racing. Delaware International Speedway plus Parkside Rams basketball stars moving on to the next level.
And we've got softball highlights with Delmar taking on Parkside plus SU men's lacrosse, continuing their run as the top team in Division III lacrosse. But Anthony, we start with a feel-good story with a local charity golf fundraiser.
We certainly do. It's all about the community. 10 years in the making, brothers Jawan Johnson and Dion Jackson wanted to continue the trend of giving back like so many others did for them when they were kids. Good People is geared to athletics for kids who don't have the means to get equipment like gloves, cleats, or golf clubs. But Johnson and Jackson said they'll help wherever they can. With 120 golfers this year, the tournament would give donations to organizations like First Tee, Boys and Girls Club, Georgetown Little League, Hammers Wrestling, and much more. Good People would have a breakfast buffet, closest to the pin, hole-in-one contest, long drive, and so much more activities. Johnson and Jackson talked about what makes this tournament so successful for more years to come.
The support with all the golfers, the community, Plantation Lakes, they're what is making this event bigger and better.
As the heads of the snake, we are open ear and we listen to any recommendations that anyone has out there for someone in the community that's in need. Please contact us. We'd love to hear the story, and we'll go from there.
And racing season is getting started back up at Delaware International Speedway in Delmar. Tonight, racers got out for a test and tune on the track ahead of Saturday's season opener. Gates open at 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's the 60th year of operations for the Speedway, a huge milestone. Here's GM Mark Cathell on the history of the track and what fans can expect for the festivities on Saturday.
Well, we're excited. My wife and I, we took over in 2022 as my grandparents built this place in 1963. My parents ran it for 58 years and retired in 2021. So my wife and I took over. This is our third season. We leased it for 1 year, but it's our third season of running it, and we're excited. It's been a big part of our family for many, many years. We'll have our last year's champion, H.J. Bunning. He'll be in the Blue Hen number 30. We'll have Greg Hummelhance. He'll be in the 602 Sportsman, and Matt Hill will be here. He's in the Elliott Farm late model division. So all those champions are going to be back. Plus, we have a lot of local guys.
They had a lot of stock cars. They were racing tonight. They're getting their hot laps in, their practice to gear up for the big event on Saturday night. It was good to see a lot of dust flying, a lot of fans there, and it should be entertaining on Easter weekend there, Chris.
Yeah, Anthony, and you know that I'm still new to racing. I'm learning something new every time I go out there, whether it's to bring ear protection, bring something for my eyes. It's always something new, but you really can feel the energy out there. You feel it in the air. You feel it in your chest when these cars are flying by. It's a great environment out there.
Chris, I even asked you the question, don't you want to get in one of those cars and go about 100 miles an hour? And your answer was?
I'm good watching.
It's a lot of fun being out there. It certainly is.
Yeah.
Now to, of course, softball. Delmar taking no breaks as they face Parkside this afternoon. Delmar up the bat. Ball hit the third base. Parkside looking to make the play, but mishandles the ball. Talala Brown will make her way home from Cheyenne Willie. Delmar still going strong, and it's smacked to left field as Summer Layton makes her way all the way around third base, and she races home as she scores off an RBI from Marlee Summers. But you had Parkside. They wanted some offense too, looking to close the gap. Ball popped to right field. Delmar looking to get an out, but the Rams will score off an RBI from Susan Gormley. And they scoot in there. Parkside goes on, scoring 2 more runs in the 4th inning. At the plate, it is deep. It is not playable, but it's hit nice and hard. But Delmar, with that potent offense, they just had to keep hitting. Marlee Summers, she drives in an RBI. and 2 more runs would score. The game in the 5th inning, Delmar just too much for them. Dominated 14-4 over the Parkside Rams.
Not a great day for Parkside softball, but great news for the Parkside Ram fam. Girls basketball seniors Zion Smith and Talea Clark both signing their letters of intent to play at the next level for Catonsville Community College. Smith and Clark, 5 and 13, both big-time playmakers on the Ram squad that made a run to the state semifinals this past season in Warren White's final season as head coach. Good luck to both of those in college. A lot of good hoops way out there in Baltimore County.
Congratulations to both. Now to the Delmarva Shorebirds. They were back taking on the Carolina Mudcats on the road. Shorebirds trying to rebound from last night's loss. Early they were down a run, but Alfredo Vasquez quickly tied the game in the 2nd inning with a 2-out RBI single that scored Yasmin Buche. It was not enough though. Reliever Sam Garcia earned the win for Carolina with Yeber Cartera taking the loss for Delmarva. They lost 10-1. The offense went silent in those late innings.
Rough day for the Shorebirds, but now moving on, the former Sussex Central player Chase Boyles is having a remarkable season for the Keystone Giants. He's batting .393. He's racked up 33 hits this year, 2nd on the team. He leads the team in runs scored with 30. His performance has helped them achieve a big milestone. They just wrapped up a berth in the conference postseason tournament when his Giants defeated Penn State Harrisburg in a United East Conference game, 14-5. That was the final score. Boyles in the game, 2 hits. His team on the year is 21-7 and an impressive 10-1 in conference play.
A lot of these former Sussex Central players doing well. Another team doing well, Salisbury University's men's lacrosse. They are still at top of the NCAA Division III with a 15-0 record. They are phenomenal. Bryce Bromwell leading his team with 46 assists. He's made 39 goals. He has racked up 85 points to lead his team. They have 2 games left in the regular schedule before the Coastal Lacrosse Conference quarterfinal. Tomorrow they're back in action against Montclair State at 11 o'clock.
And Sussex Academy girls soccer, they've had some close games this year. Against Indian River, they won 2-1, where they got a big game out of junior Deborah Williams. She netted both of their goals. They also picked up wins over Lake Forest, Newark Charter, and Laurel, beating the Bulldogs 6-0. 4 wins in a row for Sussex Academy. They're 8-2 overall, one of the top teams in Division II in Delaware. Anthony, that's got to feel good for Williams. You know, it's always nice to be the hero for your team, being the one that's scoring all those goals. She had a really big week for the Seahawks.
She certainly has. And can we see her again later in the show? Time will tell.
You never know.
We are calling our first time out, but when we return, we're sitting down with the general manager of Georgetown Speedway.
We've got that and more when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
Chase Shepard, pitcher for Parkside Rams, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back to Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm WMDT Sports Director Anthony Joseph. I have a special guest. He is the Georgetown Speedway GM, Chad Cathell. Really appreciate you being here. You have the biggest race of the year. It's next week. It is the Melvin Joseph Memorial. Tell us about this big event.
Yeah, man, it's a huge event coming up next week with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series coming to Georgetown Speedway for the Melvin L. Joseph Memorial Race. 49 laps is going to be the distance for the main event with the Lucas Oil Late Models. $20,049 to win, and all the big names on the Lucas Oil Tour are going to be here, and they're going to be looking to take home the top prize, and it's going to be a battle all the way through.
So, if somebody wants to, participate, what do they need to do? Can anybody participate in this? Because the prize money is so good. I would say a lot of people would want that money.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean anybody can hop in a car. You know, all you got to spend is about $150,000 or $200,000, and if you do that, you can be right at the front of the line. And you know, going on the Lucas Oil Series, I mean, you're going to have an extreme investment, but yeah, the prize money's big, so you know it draws out the biggest names like Jonathan Davenport or Ricky Thornton Jr. We'll have some of our great locals like Ross and Amanda Robinson, the husband and wife duo, battling it out with all the regulars. So, you know, it's going to be a great night next Friday night at the Georgetown Speedway.
So when you think of this race, what makes it so unique?
You know, around this area, there's not anything like this, right? You know, super late model racing in Delmarva has really kind of gotten away. And now, you know, we get these big events that come back in each year. And with the Lucas Oil Late Model Series, when they come in, it's kind of like when NASCAR comes to Dover Motor Speedway. It is our, you know, crown jewel event of the season each and every year. And, you know, we're looking forward to it, and the big purses and the big money are going to keep, you know, everything very tense, very tight racing, and it's going to be a big night.
And so it's named the Melvin Joseph Memorial. Tell us a little bit why it's named after that.
So it's named after the late Melvin Joseph. Melvin built the track in 1950 and operated it there for a few years. And then in 2021, his grandson, Ken Adams, and business partner Jim Parker, they went in and bought the Georgetown Speedway back. And now each and every year, this huge race with the Lucas Oil Late Model Series is the marquee event that honors his legacy to motorsports racing all across Delmarva, whether it be Georgetown Speedway, Dover Motor Speedway, which he helped build as well. You know, he just has a significant impact on racing on Delmarva for many, many decades.
You know, to get ready for this big race, what have you had to do?
It's been an unbelievable undertaking. I'm very thankful for a great crew that helps make me look good. You know, I have Sandy Fiedler going around. She's putting up posters all over Sussex County at local businesses, kind of doing it old school, right? You know, the poster on the front door and doing everything we can. Mario Street's helping get everything painted. We got J&J Shops from Laurel that's helping get everything updated around there, and many, many more. Wesley Collins Builders has helped us with our new VIP suite with the Bayline Construction VIP suite. So it's been a huge amount of work going into getting the Georgetown Speedway ready, and we couldn't do it without all of our great partners and our help around the track.
So how many drivers are you expecting and how many races? And so just tell a little bit about that. How many?
Yeah, so we'll have 4 different divisions that night. We'll have the Lucas Oil Late Model Series, which will headline. We'll probably have about 30 to 40 drivers in that class. And then our local classes, which are going to be the Delmarva Chargers, the Delaware Super Trucks, and the Southern Delaware Racing Club. So combined in those, we'll probably have about another 15 to 20 each in those. So you know, we'll have a great night and a great field of cars there, and with those 4 classes, it'll be all night long.
So what time will people be arriving?
So, you know, gates will open in the early afternoon, and, you know, racing will probably start about 6:30. So get there early, probably about 4 o'clock would be great, and get you a good parking spot out there and come in and find you a good place to sit in the grandstands. It's only $45 for adults. But $5 more gets you down into the pits, and you can go see all these drivers and shake hands and get pictures up next to their car and get the real experience.
And so do you have a race date, you know, rain date? Because, you know, we have a lot of rain on Delmarva. Is there a backup plan?
So the backup plan is it kind of bobs and weaves because they race the next 2 days after us. It's not directly thereafter, but we had this happen a few years ago, and we had to reschedule for August, so we're always going to be willing to be flexible.
Is there anything else quickly that people need to know?
You know, a lot of great racing on Delmarva, whether it's at Georgetown Speedway or Delaware International Speedway. Be sure to check us out online at thegeorgetownspeedway.com or delawareracing.com for all of your dirt racing needs.
Thank you. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having us, Anthony. We appreciate it.
Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, coming up, find out why Delaware education officials are remaining cautious ahead of the state budget's finalization. Plus, the Somerset County Fair is coming back for the summer. We'll have those stories and more coming up after the break.
I'm Sayla Foreman with Wild High Girls Basketball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back, Delmarva. Delaware State Police are on the hunt for a Smyrna man after a violent home invasion on Tuesday night. Troopers say that 33-year-old Stephen Mouthy attacked a 76-year-old man, someone he knew, inside of a home on Ivy Ridge Court. The victim was hospitalized with facial injuries. Police say that Mouthy took off on foot after the assault, so anyone with information is urged to contact Delaware Crime Stoppers at 1-800-847-3333. Meanwhile, Delaware education officials are remaining cautious ahead of the state's budget finalization. The Delaware Association for the Education of Young Children wants lawmakers to prioritize early childhood education, calling for an 8% funding increase. The organization says the money would help provide equitable access to early learning. And while they haven't gotten any promises from the governor yet, officials are happy to hear him mention it in the State of the State address.
They're definitely more encouraged and more confident following the State of the State that Governor Meyer will prioritize early childhood education in this budget. But of course, unless there's funding to match his remarks, then it'll be clear that other priorities continue to outweigh Delaware's youngest learners, and that would be a real shame.
Governor Matt Meyer's office issuing a statement that he understands the importance of early childhood education, saying in part, quote, "The state of Delaware is committed to collaborating with child care providers to ensure they have more of the resources they need to help every child succeed." Well, get ready for a weekend full of pure fun. The Somerset County Fair is coming back this summer. Local organizations, clubs, and sports teams may run a free fundraiser or game booth, and the fair is now accepting applications. The Somerset County Fair is free and open to the public. Plus, organizers are looking forward to some new events this year.
We are working on some fantastic new events coming to the fair. We have Touch a Truck coming on Saturday. We even have waterfowl carving demonstrations. We will be also announcing a really big return of a event that we had a long time ago. We'll be announcing that next month, and we expect a lot of buzz around that event.
For more information, email fundraising@scf@gmail.com. The fair returns July 25th through the 27th. And if you're looking for Easter plans, a few local organizations have teamed up to host an Easter egg hunt tomorrow. That hunt is Saturday at the Jay's Nest in Seaford, and event organizers say there will be 20,000 eggs to find. Attendees are encouraged to bring their own baskets. There will be a kickball tournament, a bike giveaway, vendors, face painting, and of course, a photo op with the Easter Bunny.
We decided to do it because there's many kids in different communities that don't have the option to go out and do things because a lot of the parents are not making that kind of money or are able to give their kids things. We're also in this event, we give out bicycles, we give out gift cards, we give out prizes.
The event is open to children of all ages and runs between noon and 5 p.m. Organizers also holding a school backpack giveaway on August 23rd. Now let's toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Rich Wardzik.
Well, that seems like a lot of fun. 20,000 eggs. That sounds great. All the Easter egg hunts this weekend. The weather is going to be fantastic for it. Saturday, Easter Sunday, we're dry. Now there's going to be a difference in how it feels. It's going to feel a little bit like summer tomorrow without the humidity. That's some good news there. Sunday, Easter Sunday, will be noticeably cooler, although still decent. With a high there of 72. Speaking of decent, the weather just fantastic today. I know the breeze kicking up the pollen a little bit. That was the only issue, I would say. Trap Pond State Park, meteorologist Eric Alf out there enjoying the sights and scenes. The budding flowers out there, the budding trees, and yeah, water. You know, it was tough out there across the area, but check out this before and after. He shot this actually yesterday. Back in November, this is what it looked like, this one specific tree he showed. And then comparing that same tree, look at the water level, look at the difference. We're back to normal levels in places like Trap Pond State Park. Here's that same tree right there, November 27th, that was the shoreline, and you can see it has come back to where it should be. So big improvements, wanted to show you that. Shore Auto Sales Skycam, we still have a breeze out there on a very comfortable evening. That's downtown Georgetown there, just up the road. Chucky and Lewis checking in at 63. Georgetown, we're at 65. Ocean City, 63. The same in Wallops. Princess Anne, 67. 63 at Salisbury. Cambridge, 64. And Easton at 67. So with the wind blowing around today, it was not too great with the pollen, and it's going to be a problem here all weekend long and likely through most of the next week. We are at the height of tree pollen season at this point, so it will come down and we'll trade that in for grass pollen. So we just can't lose, right? So we have a warm front kicking through, or already has kicked through, just a series of push of warmer air with southwest winds coming in, high pressure off the coast driving that southwest motion. And this front here off to the west, notice on the radar, there's not a lot of consistent areas of rain. Everything's very widely scattered at most. So not a lot of moisture pool with that system. So that's why I don't expect a drop of rain with this front when it moves through. It's going to be breezy tomorrow. Temperatures reaching the 80s. Here comes that front very quietly through the area, and our wind direction will switch out in the northeaster Sunday morning, and maybe more clouds, maybe not as much sun. The afternoon we'll get a little bit of it, so a little more clouds Sunday, but it's still going to be a great day for Easter. All right, back to tonight, 57 to 62, scattered clouds, 80 to 85 tomorrow as the breeze will kick up again in the afternoon. 72 on Easter, 70 on Monday. Chance for rain, and the only shot for rain in the 7-day forecast is Monday night through early Tuesday. Scattered showers, it looks like light stuff, not enough to really wash the pollen away. Sorry, I'm going to have to do that manually in the cars. Car washes, well, you know, if you're going to wash your car, this weather is great for it. Right, Anthony? Mid-70s through the end of the week.
I like that warm weather, Rich. Thank you so much. One former Shorebird just made history in the big leagues. Hear about what he's accomplished coming up next. You're watching DSI.
Jim Berkman, Salisbury University men's head lacrosse coach. Man, am I excited to be watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome to Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Anthony Joseph. The former Delmarva Shorebirds player Jackson Holliday has been batting down in the Orioles lineup, but he's still been making an impact. Recently, he became the youngest player in franchise history to hit their second Grand Slam, passing Cal Ripken Jr. Holliday's Grand Slam came in the second inning of the Orioles game against the Cleveland Guardians, helping them pick up the 9-1 win. Everybody was so appreciative and celebrating with him getting that big Grand Slam. Holliday also is the former #1 draft pick in the 2022 draft.
And from Orioles history to University of Delaware history, softball pitcher Billy Kerwood making history for the Blue Hens softball team. She's now set the single-season strikeout record with 188 strikeouts, also threw a no-hitter, the 19th in program history. She helped her team sweep Hampton in a doubleheader today, 9-0, then 7-3. Kerwood has been pretty remarkable in her first season with UD after transferring from Monmouth. The Blue Hens 31-13 overall, 17-4 in conference play. Good for second place in the CAA. And Anthony, we're still 2 or 3 weeks away from the CAA conference tournament. But for the Blue Hens, you got to feel like you're in a really good spot right now, being on a 9-game win streak heading into the end of the season.
Well, if you think of the Lady Blue Hens, you think of Kerwood, but you also think of, they call her the home run queen, Morgan Hess, which can pitch, she can hit, she can do it all. And of course, when they took on Delaware State, they beat them in the first game really by a wide margin. That second, it was 2-0. So they have a lot going for them. I think they have that balance, and we'll have to see how deep they can get. Coming up, find out who's going to be the WMDT Athlete of the Week. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Hey, this is Coach Evick, head coach of Cape Baseball, 2-time state champion. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
All right, let's talk about tonight. Next several hours. Yeah, that's not tomorrow's forecast. Our temperature is not changing tonight very much. It'll stay in the 60s all night, bottom out around 60 come 6 a.m. and a little breezy at times. Holly Kia dog walking forecast. Daisy just chilling right there. I think Daisy's going to want to get out tomorrow because we've got this going on. Again, I said this earlier, it's going to feel like summer without the humidity, a little breezy at times, but all good. Marine forecast is the trade-off. It warms up this quickly. It's because the wind is blowing at a pretty good clip out of the southwest, and that's going to lead to some choppy waters out there for marine interests, and I know we're starting to see more and more boats out there as we get closer to the start of the warm season, and for some, that's already started. Small craft advisory, top to bottom. All right, beach 7-day forecast, just like inland. Got a great-looking Easter weekend, a little cooler Easter Sunday, and Chris and Anthony, I like that forecast. You know, we've had worse, right?
I'll take that 77 degrees
Looks
tomorrow. I
pretty
can
good.
break out the shorts. Now it's time to unveil the WMDT Athlete of the Week, Deborah Williams out of Sussex Academy. The junior soccer player has been explosive on offense, tallying 5 goals in her last 3 games. She's a big reason why the Seahawks have a 4-game winning streak.
And we want to hear who you think should win next week's awards. Send in your suggestions to our email, sports@wmdt.com. Please send them.
Send them. It's time for the community calendar. The big part of the community is the Delmarva Shorebirds. Delmarva Shorebirds rack up their series with the Carolina Mudcats on Sunday, and I tell you, they're ready. They return home on Tuesday at Purdue Stadium against Augusta Green Jackets. It's a special start time at 11 o'clock. You know, I always like those special start times because it's really for the students at 11 o'clock. And, you know, you'll have a lot of probably fans there watching that. Everybody's happy, or most of them are, when the Shorebirds are back in town because they can go see their favorite team.
Yeah, and, you know, it maybe hasn't been the start to the season that the Shorebirds have hoped for, that the fans have been hoping for, but, you know, things change fast in baseball.
I say their favorite team because it doesn't matter really what the record is. They just like the Shorebirds, and they have a lot of promotions for the fans. And that's what they like. So, you know, they can get some pizza, they can get some popcorn, they can get all that. Well, we're always at the game trying to cover it. We certainly are.
Fun one time.
It certainly is. That's going to do it for tonight, as we're always thanking you for watching.
And be sure to keep up with us this weekend all over social media.
Have a great night.